Hi everyone, Saoirse here, and I'm heading to Mission as I seem to be talking to everybody on the car because it's my favorite time and nobody can bug me. I just get to drive and contemplate. Thank God for driving long distances. So what do I want to talk about? Well, I think that it's kind of time to start throwing my voice out into the universe. I have been, I know, in some of my recordings and with both my husband and myself, been throwing my voice out, but I really want to start to talk with my personal voice on a lot of stuff and issues. And the past few weeks, since I got back from Hawaii working with Lee Harris, have been a lot of sitting and contemplating what that is, and working with some friends, and as he said, diving into my creativity to kind of link the two. And I had a great dinner, coffee with a really dear friend of mine last night, and we were talking about the dinner I had with both my husband and another really dear friend the night before, who is helping me process and go through some notes and stuff that I was talking about. There's a thread that has been going on in my life, and I think in a lot of women's lives, and specifically really heavy this year, about anger. And a lot of people have been telling me for some time that, you know, you need to get out, you need to talk, you need to sort of let the world know what your voice is. But you can't do it when you're angry, and you can't have this aggression, and you can't be pissed off, which really fucking pisses me off, because I've used my anger to burn through a lot of stuff and to move me through a lot of stuff. And I know this is a thread for a lot of women, that you're not allowed to be mad. And then we come out either, listen, anger is an emotion that we've got, we're going to use it, and we should use it. It's learning how to use it correctly. And that's a real skill that I have personally worked with, still need to work with sometimes. But I really want to get the message out that it's okay to be fucking angry. And it's okay to be angry with what the hell is going on in your life. It's okay to be angry with the shit that happens to us. But what we need to do is stop utilizing it as a force to hurt someone, to beat someone, both ourselves and other people, to use this aggression, either passive aggressive, I'm Canadian, I live in a country of passive aggressive assholes, or violent with your anger. You know, what's happening in the Americas right now, and around the world, let's be honest, that's anger driven from pain because you weren't letting. Passive aggressive, same thing, anger coming from pain because boundaries are crossed. And the story that I've been getting lately from people is, you know, don't be angry, you know, don't talk about your story from anger. And I really want to say to y'all, fuck you. Because there's nothing wrong with being angry, and we need to get past that, and we need to be okay with anger, because it's a strong, vital force, and it's also an energy that is so coming to the top right now in a scary, uncontrollable way, because we have too many people saying to too many people, don't be angry, don't do this, be calm, be calm. And I agree, you know, we do need to have levels of calm, but anger is a force that we need to start using correctly. And my beautiful friend last night told me a beautiful gift about how she grew up in a world that basically told her she wasn't allowed to have that emotion. You know, you have to be the good little girl, the sweet little girl, this, you know, don't be angry. You need to stuff it down and beat it up, or eat it, or beat yourself, or whatever illusion you've got. And I came from that story as well, but I also came from a very, very, very violently angry mother. and she would let it explode and, you know, punch walls, hurt herself, hurt others physically because of her aggression. In the end, that anger was driven from fear, and it's really part that she committed suicide with, is because of all of that pain of not being able to really allow her emotions come to the top, finally did her in. And I really think we need to stop this, and we need to be okay with being fucking pissed off, because there's a lot to be pissed off about. And we need to start to deal with what's fucking pissing us off and being okay with that, and move it out of the body and learn to use it correctly, to use it as a force of change. My favorite goddess, I'm going to use goddess speak, because a lot of people will go, oh, well, be a priestess and be a goddess and all that bullshit. Now, I love it, don't get me wrong, I love the construct, but you're really not getting the full story of what a woman is when you're denying her anger. And Pele is, oddly enough, the Hawaiian goddess of the volcano. And she is this amazing, beautiful, destructive force with her anger. She gets pissed off, she erupts, and she wipes the slate clean, and out of that eruption becomes the most fertile soil to grow things in. And that's how we should be utilizing our anger as women. Not to be these chaotic forces of insanity which were allowed, or these violent eruptions of physical abuse or mental abuse. It's to wipe the slate clean and go, that's not fucking right, and we're gonna set the slate right, and we're gonna move in a positive, peaceful way. I think a great example of what's happening right now is the Standing Rock. What's going on there is a whole collective of people who are fucking pissed off at having everything taken away from them, and they're fighting peacefully. They're using their anger to root them in to what is really right and say enough. And that's how anger should be utilized. To enough. Just enough already. We need to clean up our shit, and anger can do that. And if we would let ourselves have these moments of I'm fucking mad, and say I'm fucking mad, then we can move forward instead of passive aggressively attacking, or physically attacking, or violently attacking. That's the scary anger, and that's the anger that for some odd reason we're okay with, because we go, whoa, I'm not going to deal with that, I'm just going to walk away, or I'm going to let you beat me up, or I'm going to go it. But as soon as someone walks up to you and says with passion, that's not fucking right, don't do that, don't speak that way, you're not allowed, then we get, oh, don't be mad, go to your happy place. You know what? My happy place at that moment is telling you I'm fucking pissed off. So I want us to really get to the point that, and the thing too with talking to Hawaii, and the reason I'm having this conversation is Lee Harris did some really amazing work with me and my husband and everybody who went on this journey with him. And one of the comments he made to me was to talk about what makes me mad. Well, what makes me mad is people telling me not to speak from my fucking anger, because it's what's driven me to do a lot of changes in my life, a lot of movement. It's what's driven me to protect the people I love. It's what's driven me to change the things in my world that I do not agree with and I do not stand up for. It's allowed me to have a great, strong voice as a woman, and it has allowed me to do the healing work that I've done for others, because it's also allowed me to be in a big energy, in a big space, to be, it's okay for you to be pissed off. You're in pain. Someone hurt you. And what they did was wrong. So now what are we going to do with that? How are we going to transmute that fucking anger to something that we can do positively. And that's the lesson that we need to start learning, is how do I transmute this fuck you energy into something that's creative? And that's when we start to step into our divine feminine. For me, I've been playing hyper masculine, because that's the only thing that's been allowed to let me be strong, to let me be present, to let me have a voice sometimes, is that hyper masculine. And because I've played hyper masculine, I've put heavy weight on, I've denied so much of myself. Because every time that I'd speak from anger from my feminine side, it would be slapped down, it would be hurt, it would be abused. But you know what I've really learned? When I speak from the anger of my feminine side, I can change shit. I can move shit. I can create some cool stuff, because I take that deep Pele eruption anger and go, fuck you. This is gonna change, and it's gonna change now. Whether it's when I have hurt myself, or when I've hurt somebody else, or when I'm being hurt, and it comes up and I go, woo, that's gonna change now. I take that anger, I transmute it, and I go, it's okay, you're allowed to be pissed off, now let's do something. And that's that beautiful feminine that's coming up in the world. Listen, Pachamama is fucking pissed off, because a lot of women are pissed off, and a lot of people are pissed off. Cool. Let's do something with that anger. Let's transmute it. Let's change it into that anger of love to change and move and protect ourselves, and to co-create a beautiful, delicious life. Stop telling people to be pissed off. Stop telling people that it's not okay as a woman to be mad. Screw you. I have a lot to be pissed off about, and so do you. There's rape, there's abuse, there's child abuse, there's neglect, there's shit that's going on in this world that is making sure I can't breathe, I can't eat. I'm mad about this shit. And so should you be. But you know what? Sitting around and screaming and beating my chest from my masculine side on my soapbox, which is where I have gone many times, it's not going to change it. So guess what? I'm going to move my anger into my feminine side and be like, yeah, I'm pissed, and now I'm going to fucking do something about it. And that's the part that I think a lot of people are scared about, is that moment when I switch from my, oh man, I'm mad, beat something energy, and I switch to my fuck you feminine side, and I'm going to change the world. And I get it. Change is scary, but you know what? It's changing anyways, and I don't really like some of the things that are changing. And I don't really like how we have been treating each other. So I'm going to take my pissed off energy and I'm going to change it for the positive. I'm going to use that driving force to cleanse what needs to be cleansed and to create what could be created. And if we could all funnel that, again, Standing Rock is the most beautiful example of what a bunch of fucking pissed off people can do when they stand together in a peaceful way and say, this is enough. This has got to stop. We are here for the future and we are here for the present, and what you are doing is wrong, and I'm going to take this anger and I'm going to slam it with my staff of energy into Pachamama, and I'm going to shoot it up, and I'm going to build this wall of boundary that says no more. And I'm going to stay here because this anger is this belly of fire that gives me energy to move and stay. But I'm going to use it to transmute that anger and that hate and that juvenile thought process you are throwing at me. And I'm going to look you in the eye and say, no more, brother, no more. I am going to stand here and we are going to get this right. And that's the beauty of anger. If we use it correctly, and if we use it peacefully to hold our ground and to lock ourselves together and to build this beautiful wall of fire that cleanses that juvenile, temper tantrum, self-righteous, son of a bitch anger that we have allowed to take over and take root, and then we need to let it go. It's good, because the longer I stand in that cleansing anger, the faster it goes, and the stronger I become in my source of love to move mountains. But when you tell me not to be fucking pissed off from my feminine energy, I go into my fucking pissed off man, and then I become that which those Standing Rock people are fighting. The self-righteous assholes who want to take away our rights to be human, my right to be feminine. And I don't know about you, but ladies, it's got to stop. And men, you gotta be on board with us. So I'm gonna sign off because I'm really grateful. I'm so profoundly grateful for the amazing talk I had with my friend last night. I'm really grateful for the amazing talk I had with my husband the night before, and my dear, dear friend, that both of them having a conversation about how I'm not allowed to talk from my anger. And I went, nope, I'm going to. And then my beautiful friend saying, no, you taught me how to work with it. Remember how to work with it. And I'm really blessed for that. To know how to work with anger is a gift. And it's something that we can do to help us cleanse and move this planet into the gorgeous juiciness I know it is. And it's gonna be rough for a little bit, guys, but it's okay, because the more we band together, the better it's gonna be, the more beautiful this juicy ride is gonna be, and it's okay. So if you're pissed off, fabulous. Be pissed off. It's okay. You are within your boundaries and rights to be really fucking mad. And as mad as you need to be, go for it. But you don't get to be juvenile with your anger. You don't get to hurt somebody else. You don't get to hurt yourself. You don't get to take it out on other people. You just need to go, fuck you. I'm going to change this situation. That's how you use your anger. That's how you use your feminine anger. And I know that's what's scary, is because when I step into the fuck you, I'm going to change this, woo, people don't like me. And guess what? I'm here to change the world. So are you. So let's go do this. Lots of love and life. Thanks for listening. I know that was a bit of a fuck you rant. So have fun with it, and I'll talk to you soon.